Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We have an incredible stack of sources in front of us today, all focused on you, our dear Libra and Rising Libra listeners, for December 2025.
That's right. And our mission, as always, is to cut through the noise. We're on an extraction mission to pull out the practical, actionable guidance you need for the month ahead.
And it looks like you're going to need it, because the big theme here seems to be momentum, especially after November, which the sources suggest was a real grind.
Oh, a total grind is putting it mildly. You had 5 planets in retrograde. It was like trying to run through cosmic quicksand. Everything felt stuck.
Bureaucratic quicksand, I think one source called it.
Exactly. But here's the good news, the really good news. In December, we dropped down to only 2 retrogrades. That's a massive shift in gear.
So we're actually moving forward again.
We are moving. This whole month is designed to help you find a sustainable, wise pace, especially in your career, and maybe most importantly, your finances. It's about getting that teeter-totter balanced.
I love that. Structure and pace. Okay, so let's jump in. The sources are pretty clear that the first part of the month is, well, a lot easier.
Oh, way easier. The initial flow is thanks to this really beautiful harmonious thing called a water trine. Let's focus on, say, December 5th through the 9th.
Okay.
During that window, Mercury, the planet of communication, of details, is in your second house.
Which is all about personal earnings, right? My money, my stuff, my value.
Precisely. It's about your personal financial stability, and Mercury is making these gorgeous connections to both Jupiter, the great expander, and Saturn, the planet of structure.
So you've got communication, expansion, and structure all working together on your money. That sounds pretty good.
It's better than good. It creates this powerful, sustained flow of financial ease. Any decisions you make now, signing a contract, negotiating a raise, they're built to last because of Saturn. It's not just fleeting luck.
It's success at a sustainable pace. I see what you mean.
Exactly. Now, what's really interesting here is that this financial good news might not be totally new.
Oh, how so?
Well, Jupiter is retrograde. And when Jupiter is retrograde, its expansion often comes from revisiting the past.
Ah, so it could be a bonus or a raise that you were expecting earlier, maybe back in October or November. That finally comes through.
That's the most likely scenario. It's the universe finally clearing the pipes. It's that delayed gratification hitting your bank account, and it feels fantastic.
I can imagine. Okay, so before we even get to that, the sources also point to the very start of the month, like December 1st to the 3rd, for something to do with travel.
Yeah, that's Venus. Venus is in your 3rd house of communication and short trips, and it's flowing beautifully with Pluto, the planet of transformation, over in your 5th house of joy and creativity.
So a good time to book that holiday trip.
The ideal time. If you've been putting off booking flights or that Airbnb, those first 3 days are your golden window. But there's another layer to it.
The transformation piece.
Right. With Pluto in your 5th house, this could also be a golden opportunity coming through an ally or a benefactor. Someone who sees your creative spark and wants to help you out professionally. It's more about who you know than how hard you're working.
Okay, so the first week is good, but it's not all smooth sailing. There's a speed bump mentioned around the 8th and 9th.
A pretty significant one, yeah. This is Mars squaring Saturn.
Ouch.
Yeah, it feels like an ouch. You've got Mars, all action and energy in your 3rd house, basically slamming into a wall called Saturn, who's being the strict boss in your 6th house of work, health, and daily duties.
So my desire to go do something fun is blocked by my responsibilities.
That's it in a nutshell. It's that feeling of hitting a concrete wall, maybe a work project blows up, or a health thing demands your attention, and suddenly that trip you wanted to take is impossible.
So frustrating.
Totally. And the key advice from the sources here is crystal clear. Don't push it. Don't try to shove your way through. This is Saturn telling you to handle your business first.
Handle your business.
Got it.
Okay, that leads us right from frustration into something the sources call chunky money. This is where it gets really interesting.
This is wild. From about December 9th to the 11th, we have Mercury opposing Uranus. This is a shockwave, a financial shockwave.
Okay, break that down. Mercury is my money in the 2nd house.
And Uranus, the planet of sudden shocks and surprises, is in your 8th house. And the 8th house is, well, it's deep. It's shared resources, debt, inheritance, other people's money.
But this is not my regular paycheck.
Absolutely not. This is something that comes out of the blue. It could be a huge severance package, a massive sign-on bonus, or even a significant inheritance.
Wow.
Given the other placements, it could also relate to a major debt being forgiven. Like a loan is suddenly wiped clean. It's financially destabilizing, but in the best possible way.
An instant reset. And there's a clue in the past for this, isn't there?
Yes. The sources say to think back to November 19th and 20th. This is the final act of a story that started then. If there was a big financial conversation brewing, now is when the surprise reveal happens.
Okay, so after we've recovered from our chunky money shock, our mental focus shifts.
It does. Around December 12th, Mercury moves into Sagittarius and your third house. This is such a relief. Your brain goes from deep, complicated financial spreadsheets to, neighbors, siblings, socializing, local travel.
Perfect for the holidays.
Totally. But, little word of caution, Mercury in Sagittarius can be a bit overly optimistic and miss the details. So as you're making those holiday plans, just double check the fine print. You want to avoid any unexpected travel costs.
Good tip. Okay, that takes us into the middle of the month, where the intensity seems to ramp back up.
It really does. Around the 13th to the 15th, we get Mars squaring Neptune.
And Neptune just went direct on the 10th, so the fog is already lifting.
Right, and Mars comes in like the defogger on your windshield. It forces clarity, but that clarity can be a bit harsh.
How so?
Well, Neptune is in your 6th house of work and health. So this aspect forces you to get real about any illusions you're holding on to about your job, your health habits, maybe even a rental contract. It's a reality check.
And this reality check then sets up what the sources are calling a game-changing rare time.
This is the main event of the month, really. On December 15th, Mars moves into Capricorn and your 4th house of home and family, and it stays there all the way to January 23rd.
So all that fiery Mars energy is now focused on our home life.
Hyper-focused and structured because it's in Capricorn. This is the time for action at home. Renovations, repairs, setting up a home office, getting things done.
We're getting into arguments.
Or getting into arguments, yes.
Fact.
Mars is also conflict. So if you have family visiting for the holidays, expect some passionate discussions as boundaries are tested.
A polite way of putting it.
It also strongly supports travel away from home if things get too intense. It's an escape hatch.
Good to have an escape hatch.
Yeah.
So this domestic intensity leads us right into the biggest decision-making period of the whole month.
The climax of the friction, from about the 16th to the 22nd, we have the Sun and Venus squaring Saturn and Neptune. It's a major conflict between what you want to do, communicate, travel, learn, and what you have to do. Your work, your health, your obligations.
The classic dilemma. So how does that feel in real time?
It feels like hitting a wall. A writing project might stall. You might have trouble communicating with your boss. There could be tension with a sibling over money. The universe is basically forcing you to ask, what is the absolute bare minimum I have to do to satisfy my obligations so I can have some fun?
It's a pivot point.
It is a true pivot point. You have to make a choice.
Thankfully, just as that tension hits its peak, we get a release.
Yeah.
The new moon on December 20th.
Yes, a beautiful new moon in Sagittarius in your 3rd house. It's a complete mental and emotional reset. A fresh start for how you learn, how you communicate, how you engage with your local world.
So the goal isn't to ignore the problems, but to change your perspective on them.
Exactly. The optimism of this new moon is your key strategy. Taking that uplifting, positive perspective is how you navigate the bumps that are still there from those squares.
Okay. And then we close out the month with what looks like one last communication crunch.
One final test. Mercury squares Saturn on December 30th. Remember how the month started with that lovely Mercury-Saturn trine bringing financial ease?
Yes.
Well, it ends with a Mercury-Saturn square bringing communication restriction. Hard conversations.
Oh, perfect for New Year's Eve plans.
Yeah. I mean, this is the day for difficult but necessary discussions, maybe with a neighbor, a sibling, or a boss. It's all about your home, your living situation. And please, the sources are screaming this. Be so careful with any contracts or fine print on this day.
Do not sign anything on December 30th.
Triple check it if you absolutely have to. But ideally, just wait. Communication is clunky and strained. Keep it simple.
So, to sum it all up for Libra, December is a journey. It starts with flow, moves to a financial shock, and then forces some really big decisions about your home and work life.
And that home life piece, that Mars in your 4th house transit, that is the key takeaway. For you, Libra, a sign that so often seeks harmony outside of yourself, this is forcing you to build it from the inside out.
Can't have external balance without a strong internal foundation.
You just can't. True balance starts at home, by defining your space, your rules, your boundaries.
It makes sense why the sources call this a game-changing rare time.
Mm-hmm.
You're resetting your foundation so you can build taller.
So as you head into this incredible month, here's the question to ask yourself. What is the one definitive change, the one boundary, the one renovation you will make at home this December to support the success that is so clearly waiting for you?
Use this deep dive as your framework for action. And if this conversation resonated, if it helped you connect the dots, maybe give us a follow or a like so we can keep digging deep together.
Keep learning, keep questioning, and we'll be back soon with our next deep dive.